Okay, as you can see, I'm still sitting here with my heart, and I think that gave me the idea that we could make the deck of cards, so the shapes that we have, I mean diamond, spade, heart, and clubs. So this looked like a spade, but in the wrong direction. So we should turn it and we should put the stem on it. So first of all, we don't want the gradient, it should be flat. If it should be the heart here, so that we can do with the less than and or compare. So we can just put in that here. So Shift A, converter, math, and we can use like a greater than or less than in this one here. So if it's like this, then we get this as it should be, and then this should be black. No, it should still be red, so go back a few steps, but the background should be white. So then we have a typical heart. So make this a spade, it's turning it upside down, and that is rather simple because we just change the UV by subtracting it. So we put 0 in top instead and then subtract the value, and then it will be like reversed. So all we have to do really is just to put in a subtract here. We try that, take the subtract, put it here, and we change, so we have it like this, and now it looks okay, but we of course then need to move it up a bit. So, and then we just change it into black, and we are almost finished. The only thing we have now left is to make the stem here, and I think we can use almost the same as we did here. So if we just copy what we have, the multiply here, and we can use the absolute, and we can use the y here, and I will take the material output, just put it down here so we can see what we are doing. So this is what we had from beginning, and I think we can change a little bit on that by just adding some add here and do some less than or greater than or so on. So we just put in a less than so we can see the shape first. So Shift A, converter, math, and we put in a less than, and now you can see we can change things here. Now it really looks as it should work, but it's like reverse. So we should have it in the other way. We can go out and do a new separate XYZ without subtract to make it work, but I think we can also change it here directly by just adding some negative parts in here. So set the subtract here and so on. So let's try that. We take down this a bit, and we just copy one of those, press Shift D, put it up here, and we do this as a subtract instead. And if I just increase that, so then we got something to play with, I think. And I think we also should increase or decrease the height here, so we can play with the Y. So we can just copy it down here, then we can increase or decrease the height here as well. So if I just put this to a value that is a small value, and also add an add in the end here to move stuff in the right direction, as this. So if I just put this to 1, we are really close already. So we subtract the information, and then we see we can bend it as we want to, and now we almost have it here. And I think we can use a power between the subtract and the absolute to make it more go out on the sides here that we normally use with the spades. So if we just add a power here, Shift D, copy that one, put in the power node here, and perhaps decrease that a bit, So we have it like that. Now we have to take this out a bit again, and well, it might work like this. So what I did here was more or less just that I took what we had, I reversed it, so we got the shape in the correct way, and then I needed to move it a bit in the y direction, so with this I could move it up and down, and then finally I needed to move the white so we get it down here a bit. And when I had done that, you have the stem here, and I can now use this less than or greater than to control where it should cut between black and white. So with these values in, I can now just take the value that I have from the spade and just use a maximum between here. So Shift A, converter, math, and I put a max on that one, and I take the top here, put that in, perfect fit. So then I just take this into my mix and material output, and we have the heart, oh sorry, the spade, and then I can just adjust it a bit. It can be like something like this perhaps, and of course we can play with this, but I think it's rather good as it is right now. So then we have the spade in place as well. So not very hard to do, but it's always a bit complicated to get exactly the correct values here, because things go up and down, and you can see that, okay, we have this type of pattern, but we need to tweak a bit here, and we need to tweak a little bit here. So the start can be a bit hard, but the end is often just tweaking stuff to make it look good. So anyway, a really good spade thing here. So I think the next we do will be the diamond, and I think we already have done that. So perhaps we can do it right now. It's just to put into power nodes, if I don't remember wrong here. So if I just take this away, we can save it first so we have it in the future. Save as spades or spade, then it's saved for you to play with later on. Then I can just take away everything here like that. Take this out here and do a separate X, Y, Z, and as I said, it's just to put in a power here and do the same in the bottom, and then we just put in a value, so we use the same up and down here. So Shift A, input value, put that here, put that there, and we Shift D and converter, math, and we add it together, put it to the material output so we can see how it looks. And when we now increase and decrease this, you can see here if we, let's see, what do we, okay, we have, this should be like that, and we should have an absolute as well, of course. So we put in an absolute here. See if I can find that one, like this. So now we have something here, and what we need now is a less than or something like that. So Shift A, converter, math, put it in, less than, and I'm thinking we are almost done here. So all we have to do now is change this to look really good. So something like that, and then it's just for us to connect it with the factor like this and change this into red, and we have the diamond. And now, since we have used this power, we can then bend the lines a bit so we get it as we want to. So this is exactly what we did in one of the previous lessons, so that was why I did it so quickly here and didn't go through it thoroughly, but now you can see how everything is working if I just take it so you can see it all here. So using the power with the value, multiply the x, so the amount of time that you put in here, then you can get everything. So if you just use 1, then you multiply it with 1, which means that this is the normal diagonal thing that we get, that we just use when we're using the add here. But when we then use something else, then we get the power of the power node, so to say. So then we take the x and multiply it with itself, and when we get a smaller value, then it gets even smaller, so that is why it goes in here. And when we get a higher value and we multiply it with itself, it comes even higher, so then it goes out instead of going in. So that, because, yeah, as you can see, if we take 0.5 times 0.5, that will be 0.25, I believe, or 125. I don't remember really, but it will be a smaller value anyway. So anything that is less than 1 will be smaller, anything that is bigger than 1 will be bigger if we use the power. So that is why it's going in and out. So a little bit in like that, and then we have this perfect diamond that we can use for our cards. However, I think the club, that shape we will take in the next and separate session. So I just save this file, save as diamond, so then you have that as well if you want to play with it. And I, after that, just say bye for now and see you in the next session.